Welcome to Michigan's True Spirit podcast, brought to you by North River Vodka. North River Vodka, it's Michigan's true spirit. Now, here's Chris and Eric.
Welcome to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast, new and improved for 2026.
Is it? Don't lie to the people. Don't lie to the people.
We've been out for 3 seconds, so how would we know if it's any better? I certainly didn't do any practicing the last 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know if you podcast practiced or not.
Yeah, I put myself in front of a mirror with this headset on, and I just try to deliver quality podcast voice.
You take the headset off sometimes?
I know, shame for me, right?
I just walk around this is my uniform. Like, I took it off to get my hair cut a couple weeks ago, but other than that, I just walk around with it.
What a stallion.
Yeah, I'm Chris, and I'm here with Eric. This is the Michigan's True Spirit podcast, brought to you by North River Vodka, which pays no sponsorship money, but it's a little tiny vodka brand I own, so we're going to pretend that it does. It is on Eric's couch behind him. We took a little break for the holidays. Hope you guys didn't miss us too bad. Eric, did you have a good holiday season?
It was terrific, yeah. A lot of time with family. And, the thing with family is you're just so excited to see those headlights. And you know what? You're excited to see the taillights too,
I've known you too long. I knew that was coming. So, yeah, we took a couple weeks off for the holidays because we record on Wednesdays and publish on Thursdays, and those were the eves and the days for the last 2 holidays. So, but during that time, we play a little game called Rock or Crock at the end of every episode, where we talk about a band that's going to play a show in Michigan. And we heard from one of those bands called Finding Amelia. Followed us on our Facebook page and sent us a message offering us tickets to a show that you can't go to. But we're like a puppy dog that needs attention. If you pat us on the head, we'll lick your face. So we won't be licking Mark Townsend's face.
Probably.
But we will.
The night's young.
Well, we're doing this remotely, so I guess you could lick your camera. This has really gone a weird turn. We'll be right back with Mark Townsend from Finding Amelia.
This is Alex Avila, and you're listening to Michigan's True Spirit Podcast.
Welcome back to the Michigan's True Spirit Podcast. I cannot pronounce the word spirit. My name is Chris. I'm here with Eric, and we are here with Mark Townsend from Finding Amelia. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Spectacular.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Finding Amelia, of course. Happy to be here.
Mark's from Grand Rapids. Lives in Grand Rapids for the past 7-8 years, you said? And,
yeah, something like that.
Is in a band called Finding Amelia, which is headlining a show Friday at the Pyramid Scheme in Grand Rapids, Friday, January 9th. So yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chasing us down. You're the first band who's been involved in Rock or Crock, who has chased us down afterwards. And
well, of course,
here you are. So thanks for coming on.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm always happy to shamelessly plug something and talk about drinking too. So this is great.
Well, first let's shamelessly plug your band. Tell us about you and your band, Finding Amelia. If in case people don't know much about it, give us a story.
Well, for starters, if some of your people do know much about us, then that is a huge win on our part. But we're a mostly Grand Rapids-based band. You can trace the story back of our band to 5th grade when I met our drummer, B. We've been playing music together for 16, 17 years now, something like that. We played in elementary school band and middle and high school marching band and whatnot. And then I came to Michigan in 2017. I went to Calvin Venn College, now university. And there I met Sam Mann and Joe Joel, our singer and bass player now. They were playing in a different band at the time. B and I started recording with them, and it was great. And then that band kind of dissolved it, but we all wanted to keep playing music together. So we formed Finding Amelia, 3 years ago now. And it's been an interesting journey because B now lives in Santa Monica, California. Sam and I live in Grand Rapids. And our lead guitar player, Ethan, lives in Ann Arbor. And our bass player, Joe, is from Ann Arbor, but for most of this band was at med school in the Caribbean and then just spent a good chunk of the year in New York City. And so our band is very geographically challenged. And with this, we managed to write our whole debut album without the 5 of us ever being in the same room together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we got the whole album together. We put it out. a year and 7 days ago now. It was New Year's Eve of 2024 we put it out, so it's been out a little bit more than a year. And we have had exactly one show where all of us have been in town. Since we have a couple of alternates that we play and whatnot, but that was last year, the 4th at the Pyramid Scheme, and so now it's been a year and an extra week this Friday, and so we're back to do it again. So it's double up the middle rock music. Every band now is like pop rock or all rock. We're just rock. We'll leave out the adjectives and just have fun.
That's awesome. We're big fans of adjectives. If you had to put an adjective in front of it, what would it be? I'm totally messing with you. I'm not going to make you do
that. I would say I'm going to go kick ass. I think that's what I'll
kick ass rock.
I'll go with that.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Before we go further, we should go around and mention what we're drinking. Guess first. Mark, what do you got?
Sure. Well, so typically at this time of night, I would be in the bourbon mode, but I'm not at my house. I'm at our rehearsal house tonight. So I'm drinking what my singer had in his fridge, which is Miller High Life Light this evening. I've never had this before. I would rather, I think, have just a regular Miller Light, but this is a better High Life. So I'll take it. It's almost fruitier.
Expensive foreign beer, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very foreign.
What are you drinking, Eric?
I'm drinking one of my favorite bourbons that you can find fairly regularly, and that's Russell's 10 Wild Turkey. So, bourbon.
I've been there.
Wild Turkey? That's one of the few distilleries I have not been to. I've been to almost all the other ones, but I got to get to Lawrenceburg and get to Wild Turkey yet.
We'll plan a trip. I go there about once a year. My best friend lives in Cincinnati, and we
nice. In fact, I have my Beeline glass, and Beeline is like the Covington, Cincinnati, Augusta, like all that Boone County area.
Sure.
So we did that a couple years ago. So good bourbon there as well.
Excellent.
I am pimping the North River Vodka blue sweatshirt, as Eric is for those who are watching on video, although his lighting's different, so it looks black.
Somebody tell me where I could buy one of those, by the way.
Yeah, aren't we adorable?
A North River Vodka sweatshirt?
Sure.
Or a North River Vodka. What you got?
A North River Vodka sweatshirt. Tell me where I can buy one. I'll go buy one.
Sweet. This is perfect. You're just segueing right into go to northrivervodka.com and click on the swag button. I think it's swag or merch, one of the two.
I'll find out.
They're in my garage. You could just tell me too. You don't have to go online and order. I can hook you up. They're in a box.
All right.
But I'm drinking Redbreast Irish whiskey 12-year. Oh. Eric turns his nose up at my Irish whiskey every time.
It's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with him, not gonna lie.
All right. I feel outnumbered. You guys are whiskey guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. So
I could just derail this podcast talking about the poker painting behind you. I could talk about bourbon, but you tell me, it's your podcast. You tell me what we're talking about. I'll make a podcast so we can talk about this stuff separately.
You're the guest, so we're supposed to go whichever way you go. But your bandmates probably would like you to talk about your band a little bit. So we should we should stick with that a little.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
So I was listening to some stuff online, and I noticed, and you mentioned it. I think I saw it on one of maybe the band's Facebook page. The video that you guys have 100,000 views. Can you tell us about? Is it Black Box and Last Word?
The Black Box and Last Word. I think it was the second song we put out, or the third, I guess. Our bass player Joe kind of came up with this kind of heavier guitar riff, and we all just kind of had fun with it. And this song, really written by him and Sam, our singer, came to life. And we put it out as a single, and people seemed to like it. And then when we were really trying to get the album done, Joe came up with this like epilogue to the song that then became Last Word. And so when we've at least shot a music video for every single song on the album except one, which is a whole feat that so many bands don't get to do. But we're very blessed with our friends Ethan Kaiser and Ben DeKrager who help us out with those. But when we came time to do music videos, we were like, well, we should do both of those songs in one video, which I don't know if I've ever seen before. So we figured we'd try something new, and we put it out, and somehow the algorithm just loves us. We got 10,000 views on our concert film from the Pyramid Scheme last year, and something about this video in the month and a half it's been out or whatever has just cranked views. So last time I looked, it was like 136,000. I don't know what corners of the internet my bandmates put it on to be seen by that many people, but I'm not complaining or asking too many questions. So we're very stoked with how that came out. We'll be playing those songs Friday for sure, as by sheer volume, they will have to be defined as our greatest hits now. So
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been playing and sharing music and in Michigan for years now. You've been living in Michigan for years. Do you take in some of the West Michigan music scene? Do you get to some of these venues? You talked about Pyramid Scheme a little bit. What's your experience about performing and also just taking in live music in Michigan in general?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small town of about 4,000 people in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the live music scene there was pretty much nothing. I played in some basements growing up, and that was about it. And so when I came here in college, just a band I was just following on Instagram, like, oh, they're coming to Grand Rapids? No way. A band I know is coming? Yep. That's awesome. And then a roommate was like, yeah, bands come here. And I was like, oh, okay, great. So immediately in college, I just started going to things. But the coolest was Calvin has this beautiful student activities office. And they book on Calvin's campus like 20 shows a year. And tickets are dirt cheap to students, 10, 15, $20 or whatever. Yep. But I said, screw that entirely, and just got a job working the concerts. Because I love music. What's better than getting paid to do that? It would be like somebody paying me to drink bourbon now. If I can figure out how to do that, I'm going to do it. So I got to see just all of these amazing shows. And, a lot of it, because it's a small campus, small audiences, but they're artists that just blew up huge. One of my favorites was Julian Baker came through right as she was on the cusp of breaking through. And that's a whole area of like indie music that I wasn't aware of. It's this quiet, somber stuff. And it was just the most beautiful show. That was a cool one. The band Bleachers came through a couple years after I graduated, and I had the pleasure of working that in their arena. That was pretty sweet. But that's just at Calvin off campus. I mean, the Pyramid Scheme is one of the greatest venues on earth. It's completely independent, and they just book shows left and right. Yeah. And they always make space for local artists. I've never heard one story of a local artist had their show booked and then some bigger headliner came through and they got booted. I've never heard a story of that. I've never heard of anything ill will towards them whatsoever. They're great. They're, I think, probably my favorite room I've ever played. It's awesome. But like also in town, we have the Intersection, which has like 4 stages and is another independent venue. And this is before we get to like, I went and saw Creed at the Van Andel Arena. You know, like of course, that's we still get some some bigger groups come through. I saw them. I saw Volbeat. I saw Ghost. I saw Kid Rock, which was an unbelievable show, and I can't believe I'm like saying that, but it was so much fun. I have been very, very fortunate to see tiny to huge artists in this town, and I'm more than anything blessed to have friends who want to indulge me and go with, so and I
can affirm as a Calvin kid myself, like I think I'm older than you are, but Ken Hefner at the time,
man.
Student Activities Office. I mean, when I was on campus, we had Black Eyed Peas, we had POD. Went to Jimmy Eat World on campus. Now
I saw Jimmy Eat World. That was a great show to see here. Yeah.
Yep.
So no, Ken, I was very blessed to know Ken. I think I had like a dorm position that worked with him a whole bunch.
Yep.
He was great. I worked his last ever show when they in 20. Oh, geez. It had to be 2018, 19 maybe. They cut funding to the Student Activities Office, and there was this overwhelming anger from the students at the administration for doing that. In the course of like 18 days, me and a whole bunch of other tech crew people organized this whole concert in the auditorium with 4, I can see the poster for it on the wall right here in our band room. Just the Save SIO show, and there's 4 bands that all just came up on Calvin's campus at that time. And in like 18 days, we went from nothing to having everything booked, the whole thing teched, and we recorded it and filmed the whole thing. And it was a great thing. And I'm sure in reality that probably did very little to sway things, but they wound up not cutting it. And Ken had another year or so and then could retire on his own merit. which was great. And then even since then, they've hired a guy named Jack Droppers who works there now. And Jack is, I think I just saw, he's been there for 6 years now, which hurts my brain a little time-wise, but he's another great guy. He's also a local musician. Jack Droppers and the Best Intentions. They're a great band. I've seen them a few times. I want to play a show with them at some point. He is about the best person they could hire to fill Ken's shoes, which are some very, very big shoes.
For sure. Yeah, and I expect you and I aren't alone in the influence that office and has had on not only students, but just kind of in the community about trying to raise the value of live music and the artistic experience of music at campus. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool touch point.
Yeah, I can't say enough. As much as I could complain about Calvin's administration or have some campus gripes,
for sure,
the biggest gift they gave to my life was just overwhelming amounts of live music.
Yep.
That was truly life-changing. And aside from live music I could see, live music I can play. That's where I met 2/5 of my band, and then our current sound guy and our keyboard player and our 2 video guys, and like our whole cult is a band is just all Calvin people and people we've pulled from elsewhere too. It's cool. It's all people who know people who like people. It's great.
That's awesome. Tell us more about the band too. Like, can you talk about like the challenges of putting an album together remotely? Like, do you have a funny story about something? And also, can you give us a background on you guys? Because I read like one of you guys has like an opera background, and then somebody does a metal shows, and then a couple of you play in church. Like tell us like not only the diverse backgrounds, but then trying to form music when you're not even in the same state at times.
Well, I'll start with this. Writing music when you're not in the same. Am I allowed to swear on this?
Sure.
Writing music when you're not in the same room is an absolute fucking nightmare. It's just the worst. It's because you can kind of do it the same. Like I can sit on a Zoom call and play a guitar part, and then Joe will say, "Okay, send that to me," and I'll send him a file, and then a week later he'll send me a file, and it just takes forever.
Yeah.
It's the most inconvenient thing ever. I can't stress to you enough how many headaches we had, but it was a good thing for a number of reasons. First, it allowed all of us, which I'll get into in a second, we all have diverse backgrounds. We all had a moment to put our own influence in.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I've been in band writing rooms before where we play something and somebody goes, "Nah, I don't like that." And I go, "Oh, okay. I didn't really have time to develop this idea because it just came to me." So one thing it allowed us to do is really sit down, and I can say, instead of here's this riff, let's see what we can come up with. I have time to outline a whole song and then see what people think. And then we can kind of determine if the song is good or not once we know what the song is, instead of basing it off of just one little moment. So the important thing for us is we wanted to start with an album because we're all in different places. This is a new band. The 5 of us have all played with each other kind of separately, but never in a rock context, never all at once. And so this album gave us, just 2 years or whatever, 3 years of writing to figure out what we sound like as a band, which is, I know plenty of bands who have struggled to find that. And they sometimes get it by their 3rd album. Sometimes they never get it and they break up because nobody can agree on anything. Yeah. So we had time just to figure out what this band sounds like, which was an inconvenient gift, is how I'll put it. As for backgrounds, I started playing trumpet in 5th grade. My sophomore year of high school, I started playing bass guitar because all the crappy punk bands my high school they all had guitar players. Nobody had a bass player. And I'm like, well, if I play bass, I have to be in the band. And then, it's all gigs where there's more people on stage than in the crowd, and you're playing to the other bands you're playing with, or, in a basement or in my living room, or something like that. Yeah. B, our drummer, he started playing percussion in 5th grade, and he kind of stuck with that and percussion the whole way up. He now lives in Santa Monica and writes music for a living. A lot of what he does is for video games. He's done some film scores. He's done some amazing projects. He, in the company he works for, just did a whole bunch of music for the Star Wars Outlaws video game. He and I used to stay up till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning watching Star Wars, and now he's writing music for
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah,
And yet he still
awesome.
comes to Michigan, once or twice a year for some, rock music stuff, which is cool. Sam, our lead singer, is a proper Grand Rapids born and raised native. He has sung in opera music since he was like a child, I think. He's still in the Grand Rapids Opera Company. A lot of times we have to schedule shows around his opera rehearsal because it'll be like a month where he doesn't have any free nights for music that isn't opera. He meets with a vocal coach every Tuesday or whatever, like kind of at the end of the workday. And I lived with him for 4 years. And so I'd like come home from work and I'd have a real crappy day and I'm tired. And then I just hear this Italian shrieking from the other side of the house.
Right.
Ethan, our lead guitar player, he's born and raised outside of Ann Arbor. He is a god of the instrument. I don't know how he moves his fingers that fast. I don't know how he writes such amazing solos. And it really angers me how fast he can learn songs, because it takes me it takes me longer to learn songs that I wrote than it takes him to learn. We're doing a Rush cover on Friday, and I got on a Zoom call and he was like, so it goes kind of, he just kind of played it, and I'm like, oh, you suck. How do you do that? Right. So, but he plays in, I think, 30 different bands. There's always another one, but he plays bass in a band. He plays guitar in a couple, and they're all really hard metal. And we joke that we're a pretty hard rock band, but like we're the lightest rock that he plays, I think, which is cool. And then Joe, our bass player, he plays this 6-string monstrosity of a bass. It's crazy. I think he got lessons growing up. I'm not sure, but Sam and I all play in separate churches on a somewhat regular basis. He's in med school right now, which is Sam's in a doctoral program. Joe is becoming a doctor. And I'm like, if I have to go back to school, I'm going to light myself on fire, that sort of a thing. So we are a shockingly diverse band vocationally, but the one thing we all agree on is rock music is cool. So
Cool.
Yeah.
What are we're supposed to get back to Michigan stuff, but like what kind of what rock bands were like, what are the rock bands that super influenced you that people would know growing up or whatever? Like, who did you love?
Well, one of my first loves, and this is a Michigan guy, was Bob Seger. I love that whole Night Moves record is great. And then his 9 to Night live album, I probably listen to once a month. I really love Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. That is just some of the best music. If I could have anybody's voice, it would probably be his. Otherwise, growing up, the night before my high school graduation, my uncle took me to see U2. Nice. Which I flew to Vegas to see them at the Sphere.
Really, how was that?
It was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable.
Was cool.
I could derail this whole podcast. It is like, I'm an audio technician. Like, I could derail this whole podcast talking about the speakers, but I'll spare your listeners.
We're rarely on the rails, so do your worst.
Yeah. So I like U2 a lot. Influenced our band. I mean, the Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters are awesome. I grew up listening to the All American Rejects. My parents didn't like that very much, which only made me love them more. There's, oh man, I should have thought about it for a couple of minutes. I love Billy Joel. Billy Joel's awesome. Trying to think other Michigan.
Yeah, is there anybody out, is there a Michigan band out right now that's open for you, or that you've opened for, that you've seen, we're always looking for new music. So is there anybody we should be tracking down? I put you on the spot. We don't do any prep work and warn you about these questions at all.
That's fair. I will shamelessly plug Jack Droppers and the Best Intentions, as I really do love them. We're playing on Friday with a band from Kalamazoo and a band from GR, First Aid Spray from Kalamazoo. They do this really fast, kind of fun punk music. They're just all great guys. Two of them are like dads, and they're all we just really want to play music together. And I love that. That's the same kind of energy we have. And the other band, Smothers, we're playing with, how do I put this? They play very pure rock music, where it's a little bit more of the the start of the electric era influence, whereas I'm like, let me bring my giant rack of digital modelers and wireless rigs and run around the stage like an absolute insane guy. They're a little bit more pure and, for lack of a better term, traditional rock music, which I think Ethan, their lead guy, will just hate me for calling it that, but that's what it sounds like. So I shamelessly plug for them. Otherwise, if you guys could get somebody from Wolfpack on, please connect me with them. I'm not compatible with their genre. They're in the kind of the funk and just heavenly good music. They're from Ann Arbor. I would love nothing more than to be anywhere inside a circle with them. My band does not really have much crossover, but they are gods of their instruments and some of the most brilliant songwriters in history. So, and I would dare say they are the best musicians from Michigan who are out in the world right now.
Wow.
Have you reached out to them? The amazing thing about the digital world we live in is you can connect with anybody, as we've learned.
I think they are. The distance between me and them is about the same as the distance between me and you two, I think. But probably the real answer is because I'm scared to, but they're, everything I've seen from them has just been some of my favorite music ever. So,
I'm going to say this only because you mentioned poker earlier. When we were starting this podcast, I was like, we should have a poker player from Michigan on. And I thought of,
sure.
Joe Cata, who won the World Series of Poker main event in 2009. And I reached out to somebody who I knew him. And he's like, oh, yeah, here's his number. So I texted Joe one day and I'm like, hey, my name's Chris. You don't know me. We haven't started a podcast. We're nobodies. Do you want to come on? And he was like, yeah, sounds like fun. So
I love that.
I'm telling you, just get on Twitter.
You just might be right. I got to start just sliding into bands' Instagrams and be like, hey, can we open for you? One of my favorite things to do, I really love to email venues and try to see if I can get opening slots out of them. They're not from the United States. I think, I don't want to misquote what country they're for, but for my money, the best rock music right now is played by The Hives. If you don't know that band, I don't need to be paid. Can we open for them? And, most of the time they don't reply. And the same thing with, I'm a big Bob Mould and Husker Du fan. And I emailed Bells at Airplane. I'm like, hey, I have tickets to this event, but here's my band. Can we play? And of course, they also didn't get back to me, but I'm just going to keep doing it. And one of these days, somebody will say yes, So that's the thing that I do the most. And then, the All-American Rejects, who I mentioned earlier, they are kind of coming back now. And instead of, latching themselves to some bigger tour or kind of a has-been or, anniversary tour sort of a thing, they just started playing backyard shows in random cities, and just thousands of people would show up way beyond expectations. And then the cops would have to shut it down because it was just loud and crazy, because they're like in their 30s or 40s now, and they're just acting like teenagers. And I love that. So Sam and I emailed them. We're like, do you want to come play in our backyard? Come to Grand Rapids. We will give you a PA system, and then we'll also open for you. So again, nice. Didn't hear back, but one of these days it's going to work.
Oh yeah. So, keep sending those Hail Marys, man. That's the way to go. So
totally.
So I have one question. Yeah. I'm not much of a musician. I did a little music in high school, but I'm not a musician. And every once in a while I see these little ads for Guitar Center or whatever. It's like, we sell, the best feeling on earth or whatever their tagline is. And I just wonder, what is the experience? What is the feeling when you're playing a show, you're playing music, there's a decent crowd, it's going well. What is it like to be in that space and have that feeling?
The simplest answer is it's a shitload of fun.
Okay.
The most fun I've ever had has been playing music. I'm a little bit of a weird guy because I could stay here in this practice room and just play music with friends and jam all day. And that is roughly the same amount of fun, I think, as playing 4 people, depending.
Yep. Okay.
The nerves can kind of heighten your excitement a little, I think, or a lot in some cases. The reason I struggle to answer it is because so often I forget. Because the show happens, you start, you're playing, you're getting ready, you're psyched up, and then it's over. And then it's over.
Okay. Interesting.
So
I think it's a good answer.
you walk off and you feel great, or you don't. I've played plenty of shows where I walk off and I go, sorry.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. So I try to make a conscious effort, especially because we'll play some longer shows. I'll try to make an effort during a song that I know really well and I can completely disassociate my brain from playing it, just to look where I am. That has helped me so much. And the other thing that is really cool, I'm so blessed to have. I was a film major. I majored in unemployment at Calvin, and I was so fortunate to be friends with guys who like doing things with cameras just because they like it. And so Ethan Kaiser and Ben DeCrager, Ethan shoots all of our music videos and Ben shoots almost everything else we do. Them and our photographer, Daniel Boss, all of them are at most of our shows and films. So like we shot a whole concert film last year. I didn't tell the band. I asked Ethan to come get video specifically of one song, and he brought 2 friends, and I put up a couple extra cameras and we shot the whole thing. And then 6 weeks later, I edited a whole concert film together. We're going to do probably the same thing this Friday. The greatest gift of that is, I get social media posts and blah, blah, blah. But the greatest gift is I can watch it back and be like, oh, I forgot about that. So this last show, we did a weird thing, which we opened with a cover, which we don't normally do, but we kind of wanted to ruin somebody else's song before we ruined our own first. And so we opened with Jet's Cold Hard Bitch, if you know that song. It's a great 2000s rock song.
Yep.
And there's this moment right after the first chorus where I just kind of walk to the front of the stage and I just yell at the audience. Just talking, I just go, you just yell at them. I had totally forgotten I did that. And I watched that back and I'm like, oh yeah, that was fun. Cool. So the best way to describe the feeling is it's just fun. But for me, the fun is playing music with friends. And if people want to watch, that's great.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
I'm here to play music with friends. I'm definitely not here for attention. I'm definitely not here. If I'm here for money, I suck at it. So like, this band does not, we're here to play rock music, and that's the joy of it.
That's awesome. So you said you're a transplant from a tiny town in Pennsylvania. What town was it?
Okay. Do you know where? Okay. Do you know where Erie is?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, you can do Michigan. You can do Pennsylvania. Fun fact. So you have Philly here. You have Pittsburgh here. Erie's up here.
Up there. Yep.
And my small town is right on the New York border. So it's a town called Northeast, which is in the northwest corner of the state.
Makes sense. Total sense.
Yeah. So it's in the northeast corner of the county, and they said that's good enough.
That's good enough.
So
you've been here since you said 2017. Tell us about what you love. Like, what do you love about Michigan? Like, what keeps you here? What do you like to do? What do you like to see?
Yeah. So maybe I'm going to get hate from both Pennsylvanians and Michiganders here. Pennsylvania and Michigan are very, very similar to me in a lot of ways. What keeps me here is Grand Rapids. I really love Grand Rapids. I have grown to call it home. I like that it's a smaller city, but has pull like it's a big city.
Yeah.
I really enjoy. I just enjoy that there's always something happening, but there's never that much traffic to get there.
Yeah.
Like that's a dumb thing, but that makes a difference. So the truthful answer is what keeps me here is people. I have, I still have friends at home, of course, but all of my core group of friends are here and they're all game for projects and having fun. Last night we played a show at Mulligan's Pub here in East Grand Rapids, where I put on a pompadour wig and a white suit and spoke in a crappy Southern accent, calling myself Brian O'Brien as we played old rockabilly covers. Why? We were bored and just needed something to do instead of rehearsing. So we had one rehearsal for like 2 hours. Like, that's fine. So it's the fact that with very little effort, but with all of my very talented friends, I could just kind of send an email and have a show just at a bar and have fun with friends on a Tuesday of all days of the week. I don't know where else you can do that. I like that everybody, the blessing and curse of a town of 4,000 people is everybody knows everybody and their business.
Yep.
Here, everybody knows everybody, but not their business. That's great.
That's
so I like that between my bandmates and I, we kind of know everybody a little, or have a connection to everybody, and that's pretty cool. So
cool.
The answer is people and lack of traffic.
Good.
So tell us one more time about your show this weekend at Pyramid Scheme, and then also tell everybody where can we find you on the socials and on the internet and all that stuff.
Absolutely, you can find us on social media at Finding Amelia Band. In a lot of places, if you see an A with a jet in the logo, that's us. Show this Friday at the Pyramid Scheme. Doors at 7, music at 8. Smothers and First Aid Spray. Also local Michigan bands, West Michigan bands opening up. Cool. Cheap drinks. Tickets are $15 at the door. You can buy them online for the same plus a couple bucks in fees. It's at the Pyramid Scheme, which is downtown here. It's across from Stella's Lounge, which is one of my favorite places to get dinner in the city. It's an independent venue. They do so much for local artists, and every person there is a treat of a human being and deserves the finest things the world has to offer. And as for our music, you can find us Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, pretty much every major platform we're on there. And if you can't find it, I'll monitor the comment section of this video and send it to you.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, we will post links to your social media and to the video and stuff like that. Like whatever you want us to post links to send them my way. We'll get them in the episode description. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing you guys play someday.
Absolutely. Next show you guys can make it. Tickets are on us. We're having Eddie. Awesome. Thanks for the shout out a couple of weeks ago. It gave us all a good laugh. I'm glad I can come on. I would love to come back and just gush about bourbon or poker for like 6 hours.
Well, we could do that sometime, or when we click stop record on this, we can go into that a little bit, Mark. But
sounds good.
So. Thanks, Mark. Thanks so much. We'll see you down the road.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. North River Vodka. It's Michigan's True Spirit. Welcome back to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. Thanks to Mark for coming on from Finding Amelia. We are on to our next segment, which is called My Michigan. It's where we talk about Michigan. Eric, do you want to talk about Michigan today? Or you want to just skip right to Rock or Crock?
No, we have to talk about Michigan.
I'm messing with you, of course.
Michigan's a beautiful state, even though it's sad and gray. The warmth lives in our hearts.
I definitely wouldn't want to waste all of the prep work you put into this segment either. That would be like 7 seconds of your life that you couldn't have back.
Hey, the investment is unbounded. It's not only measured in time, it's measured in heart.
It's 1 second for each listener. That's fair. So tonight we're going to talk about Michigan-based New Year's resolutions. Is it too late for New Year's resolutions? It's January 7th, but this is our first show of the year.
I feel like there's an ongoing debate, like how long can you wish somebody Happy New Year after that New Year? I feel like if it's like New Year's week, you're good. We're probably too far now.
I knew somebody who said it was the 3rd. And then somebody was here at my house on like the 2nd and asked me why I still had some Christmas lights up. So people are pretty militant about the rules. But this is January 1 for the podcast, first episode of this year. So we're going to do it. So you want me to start off with some Michigan-based New Year's resolutions?
I'd love that. Get us going.
You want me to start off?
Mm-hmm.
I will attend a concert in Michigan in each calendar month of 2026. I talk a big game. I talk a big game. I have a big concert watch list where I put all the shows that I might want to go to. Generally, if I can't get somebody to go with me, then they just kind of go by the wayside. But I'm going to at least 12 concerts this year. And I have 3. I purchased tickets to 3 concerts in 3 different months. And I'm inviting you, Eric, and all the people to attend. Come say hey. I would say I'd buy you a beer, but some of these beers are $18.50. And if I see more than one of you, that's going to get pretty steep. So just come say hey, and I'll consider buying you a beer. In January, later this month, I have a ticket to see Antarctico Vespucci.
Nice. Good name.
Are you familiar with Antarctico Vespucci?
No.
I'm going to keep saying it because I'm amazed that I might be pronouncing it correctly. Okay, I'm going to quit. Antarctigo Vespucci is another Jeff Rosenstock band.
Oh,
He's got there's a dude that he does music with, and it's a little less. I haven't listened to a ton of it. It's a little more mellow, but what I've heard I like, and they're playing at L Club in Detroit,
okay.
which is a tiny little venue. Feel like I've been there. Maybe I intended to go there. Maybe I've never been there. Have you ever been there?
Never.
No. Okay. Skipping to February, I have ticket to see Dinosaur Pileup
Wow, classic. Yep.
in Grewal Hall in Lansing, which I've never been either.
Nope.
I think that's either a new venue or it's new to me. Dinosaur Pileup, of course, British rock band. They are the ones who do our intro music called Peninsula. So thanks to them. I currently don't have any tickets in March, but in April, back at the L Club, Black Pistol Fire.
Good. Good stuff.
I assume that you will be attending Black Pistol Fire with me since we've tried to go
Book it.
multiple times. And
I'll be there.
Oh no, you went once. That's right. We went the one time. So yeah. So anyway, that's my thing. I'm going to a lot of shows this year.
I want to add to that resolution for you. I'm just going to go ahead. I think you need to see more risky and or potentially god awful shows. That to me, that's just as fun as seeing somebody really good as seeing somebody it's a dumpster fire.
I would like to go see random shows. I don't know how far you live from downtown Grand Rapids. It's not far, right?
20 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. I live 2 hours from downtown Grand Rapids, and there's not a lot of places in between here and there to see random shows. So yeah, I would love to go see more random shows. I just have less accessibility to those. So but yeah, I'm down with that too.
Good.
Yeah. So what's yours?
One of mine. I dog on some forms of Michigan product. In the past, I have dogged on Michigan whiskeys because either they're like sourced or they're not well developed. But I'm going to resolve this year to give Michigan products. Obviously, Michigan beer is good, but try to give Michigan whiskey another fair shake and try to explore some of the other options out there. I know, what is it? Mammoth, Traverse City. There's a lot of that I have. I think Detroit City is one of them. Two James. Like when I see them on the shelf, I always ignore them. And I think it's time I give them a little bit more of an opportunity because I typically bend toward the Kentucky stuff.
You touched on an interesting point because Grand Traverse Distillery is in Traverse City. That's where North River Vodka is distilled. They distill themselves everything, but they have one product that's a blended, but everything else they distill themselves. And there's a lot of places, and I won't name them. There are a lot of places that just buy it and put it in bottles and call it their own.
Yep.
You can tell if you look at a bottle of alcohol in Michigan, if the bottle says distilled by, that means they made it. If it says it's
bottled,
produced by, packaged by, bottled by, there's a million other things that you can say, and that means that you took it and you altered it somehow to make your own. You blended it, you filtered it, you shook it up and down, you did something so that you can call it your own. So yeah, I'm a firm believer in buying actual Michigan made whiskey rather than Michigan bottled whiskey. So yeah, try some Grand Traverse Distillery stuff for sure.
Yep.
Stop by my house. I got a bottle of wheat. I got a bottle of their wheat here somewhere.
Yep.
So yeah, good stuff. I like that too. That goes right into my second one. If I didn't cut you off and interrupt you there.
Proceed.
That was it.
Proceed.
My next one is that I'm going to visit at least 3 distilleries in Michigan that I've never been to before.
Yeah. Good.
And right at the top of my list, I actually put 2 James.
2 James. Yeah.
Never been to 2 James. Hear great things. I'm going to hit that sometime for sure. But man, there's a lot of them around. You don't have to look that far to find a good one. So
this weekend I'm heading up to Bel Air. I know Shorts is up there, but isn't there a distillery up there? Is it Mammoth? Is that one up there? Somewhere.
Mammoth has a tasting room in Bel Air and actually has they have a distillery, they have a facility not too far from there. I don't know if they give tours. I've been there.
Just check it out.
Yeah, you should check that out. There's a lot of cool stuff. Well, we talked about Bel Air a couple episodes ago. There's a lot of good stuff to do in Bel Air. But yeah, you got
this weekend.
You got Mammoth, you got Grand Traverse Distillery. There's Ethnologies in Elk Rapids. We could keep going. There's a bunch of good distilleries up there. So
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit some more distilleries. I'm in the business kind of, so I need to get around. So what else you got?
So a new thing I've tried and I really enjoyed, and I'm kind of resolved to do this a little bit more, is at the Gun Lake Casino. They advertise the crap out of it, but they have this new Oasis, which is like this big indoor swimming pool venue. And on Saturdays and Sundays, you can get in for free. And and it's lovely. And I'm always cold. I'm always cold. And the Michigan weather is depressing. So I'm resolved just to go there more and just get my little lounge chair, pretend I'm in Florida or California or Hawaii, someplace nice. It's a half hour down the road, and it's great. I resolved to just go there more and relax and try to absorb a little warmth and or find some sunshine. I mean, you get the winter blahs. You need something, and this has been nice. I think they did a nice job.
This is a Michigan podcast. You can't resolve to leave Michigan during the winter on a Michigan podcast.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to the casino.
No, you said found some sunshine. Well, that's fair. I noticed you're going to the casino and you're not going to a friend of the show, Great Wolf Lodge.
Everybody else will be there. I mean, they don't need me.
Easter egg back to
everybody loves
Easter egg. Is that what they call those? Easter eggs?
A little callback, yeah.
A little Easter egg back to episode 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it was. So
they love us at Great Wolf.
Yeah, it's true. We're the only podcast in Michigan that cares about Great Wolf Lodge or something like that. My next New Year's resolution for Michigan is where do I want to go every time I show up in Grand Rapids, Eric? Like every time I come see a show with you or whatever, where do I want to go? Stella's. And I'm not here to dog Stella's. I'm here to love Stella's because every time I go to Grand Rapids, I go to Stella's. I get a burger, I get a whiskey. We've sung the praises of their break-even bottle before, where you get a shot of whiskey at price at their cost, which is awesome way to try good whiskey that you've never had before without spending $100 on a bottle. But as much as I love Stella's, I'd like to apologize to Stella's. I'm going to cheat on them. I'm going to have burgers at some place else in Grand Rapids besides Stella's. And the 2 places on my list, Black Napkin. I've heard amazing things. Is that true?
It's true.
And was it you that tells me their chicken sandwiches are every bit as good as their hamburgers?
Better.
That's I'm gonna have to go twice because that seems like insanity to me that something could be better than a good burger.
Black Napkin, it's gotten to the point now where it's so popular. It's not under the radar anymore. Like everybody kind of knows. I had a colleague tell me, "Oh yeah, you got to do it," and I was like, whatever. It's just takeout. Why, And the first couple times it was like, okay, you'd have to wait maybe 5 minutes or whatever. Now there's a line all the time, and it's just a little place, but it will impress. It's impressed me. It's really good. Yeah. The French fries, the fries are just perfect.
Nice. Very nice.
A Black Napkin. It's where I'm concerned that it's going to be a product or its own success could be its downfall, but it's good for sure.
Yeah. The other place on my list, and I just saw a picture of it on Facebook once, I think, is Seven Monks Tap Room. Looks like they have a really good burger too.
Which I believe you called Three Monks, which is several monks shy of a full monk load.
I'm out of monks to give. So, yeah, that was a mistake on my part. But yeah, Seven Monks Tap Room. Yeah, all 7 of them.
Yeah.
So that's all I got. Like that's what I'm going to accomplish this year in Michigan.
Some people say, I'm going to eat less. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to mix in a salad. I appreciate this line of reasoning. It's like, no, burger me more.
Hold on. I just went burgers, alcohol, and music, right?
Yeah, you're living a life of licentiousness and excess.
Of what?
Can
you dumb that down for me?
You're just.
I went to Northern.
You're living a life of a libertine.
Good Lord. Do you have any other? By the way, I am doing other things with my life. These are just Michigan-based New Year's resolutions for the sake of our podcast, sir. It's not that I'm just going to lay around eating burgers all year, but I might.
Whatever. It's your story. Okay, whatever.
You got anything else?
Yeah. The last one I have is I want to explore not West Michigan, but Michigan more. I get like you. I kind of get some familiar places, but I want to visit anything that's kind of new. I want to try more, I'm going to say risky foods, but like they're not really risky, but just try new things that I've not had before. More, dare I say, ethnic food opportunities. Go to places I've never seen. They have a new hotel bar thing in like Rockford that is kind of exciting. Maybe it's overrated, but I want to go and just explore new things and get out of some old habits, right? There's a lot to explore
that's
out
fair.
there.
You got to be a tourist in your own state, your own town. You know,
Yeah.
when you live in a place, it's just easy to be like, oh yeah, I'll get there someday. And it's amazing since we started this podcast, so many months ago, 3 or 4, how many times you've mentioned a place and I've never been there. So
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, I'll do some of these things with you. I'll meet you for a burger. You want to go to a show? I'll
That'll
go
be great.
cruise around Michigan. So let's do that.
North River Vodka. It's Michigan's true spirit. Now back to Chris and Eric.
Welcome to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. I'm Chris. I'm here with Eric, and this is the final segment of the first episode of 2026. Little thing we like to call Rock or Crock. First, I would like to remind you to drink responsibly. If you're not going to drink responsibly, please don't drink at all. Rock or Crock is a game where I find a band that's coming to a show in Michigan. I describe the band to Eric. I give him their real name. I give him a fake name. Eric has to pick which is rock and which is crock.
Get it correct all the time.
You're just under 500. But this good things come out of this because this is where we ran into Mark Townsend and Finding Amelia, who again will be in concert on Friday, January 9th at Pyramid Scheme. So yeah. So are you ready to play Rock or Crock?
Yes.
A couple ground rules. First of all, Eric, that we've never discussed. We should probably cover the ground rules now.
Just like adding 12. Rules now?
Yeah, I'm adding rules. If I ever name a band and you know the band, you can't be like, well, that's the real name. You have to tell me and then we will do another version.
No, I'm going to fake it like I've never.
I got to tell you, sometimes I create good I get good ones and then I look in their EDM bands and then I can't use them because I'm like, Eric probably knows these guys. Second of all, for the people, the fake band names I make up, I don't always research. And I recently found out that one of the fake band names that I used, which was Finding Emo, which is, I think, a great band name. Yeah.
It's out there
I
somewhere.
Googled it after the show. They're a cover band, I think, out in California. So my apologies to Finding Emo. Great minds think alike. Here we are with another episode of Rock or Crock. Eric, bridging the gap between sincerity and humor. This band is a tongue-in-cheek. No, not you.
Yeah, I know the band, but like, okay, they're bridging the gap between sincerity and humor. Okay, who's writing this? You're a writer. Is this writerly BS?
I take these things from online, I copy and paste them, and then I replace the name of the band with this band. That's all I do to these things. There's no creativity.
You're endorsing this. You're endorsing this nonsense.
Retweeting does not imply endorsement.
Okay, go.
Bridging the gap between sincerity and humor. This band is a tongue-in-cheek emo punk outfit based out of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah.
Tongue-in-cheek emo punk.
Yeah. Columbus.
Mixing earnest, anthemic power pop songs with fast-paced eccentrics. This band aims to bridge the gap between punk rock and aggressive levity in a way that feels fresh.
Okay.
Tongue-in-cheek emo punk outfit, punk rock, aggressive levity. Are you ready for the names?
Yeah, never more ready.
Is this band's name Ode to Apathy?
All right.
Or is this band's name Hummus Vacuum?
Hummus Vacuum. Hummus Vacuum? Really? Oh my gosh. All right.
Face.
If you're a college kid and you earn the nickname Hummus Vacuum, how are you feeling about that? Would you be proud of that nickname? There goes old Hummus Vacuum.
I don't speak.
Is that like a Greek ethnic slur? Is hummus Greek?
Yes, I believe so.
There goes, I don't even know stereotypical Greek names. Old Hummus Vacuum. That's got Oh my gosh. If I was in a band and people were asking me, "Oh yeah, you play in a band? What's your band name?" I would be ashamed. I would I would regret being like, "Oh yeah, I got to meet with my bros and we got to rehearse for Hummus Vacuum." It Ode to Apathy just fits your description a lot better, bridging the gap between sincerity and levity or whatever nonsense. Uh, if you've tricked me, you've done it too well, and I'm falling into your trap. But Ode to Apathy sounds like a band of this caliber. And Hummus Vacuum seems like some juvenile adolescent nicknaming that you came up with. The real band name is Ode to Apathy. Final answer.
Eric, Hummus Vacuum is opening for Adjust the Sales Friday, January 9th at the Lager
Yeah.
House in Detroit.
Oh, damn it.
I'm so proud of Ode to Apathy. I was so waiting for an emo band to peg with Ode to Apathy. And yeah, Hummus Vacuum is opening for Adjust the Sales Friday, January 9th. That's this Friday at the Lager House in Detroit. We've discussed the Lager House at length. You should go. It's a great venue. Other bands on the bill include Dear Cincinnati and one word, Loud Fox Cult. If each band has 4 members, and I don't know if they do, that would be 16 people. That would be like 8 or 10% of the capacity at the Lager House if all of the bands show up. So sorry you have lost Rock or Crock yet again. Would you like to issue any apologies or sing my praises for being brilliant or anything at this point?
I mean, I'm just picturing, various scenarios in which a hummus vacuum is a correct thing. Like in a manufacturing setting, are we grinding the chickpeas and then slurping them through a pipe network to create, you know, hummus package? Or is this a person? What are we doing, hummus vacuum? Or is it like, oh, I dumped the hummus in my carpet and what do I do? I mean, this is not like dropping some Skittles. This is a pasty food, you know? This is not a food that adheres to the 5-second rule. You need a hummus vacuum to retrieve it.
Whoa, hold on. I just Googled how did the band Hummus Vacuum get its
Oh my
name?
God. Is it appropriate for PG-13 audiences?
AI Overview says that the band Hummus Vacuum took its name from a Roswell Kid song of the same name. Um, Roswell Kid have a song called Wendy's Trash Can, if I'm not mixing up my bands. That was on my Spotify top 100 list for last year. I'm gonna look this up real fast too.
Man, you're like a target audience
It's true
yeah.
for Hummus Vacuum. Yeah. So Roswell Kid frontman.
I've been
What's that?
looking at hummus vacuum reviews on Amazon.
In case you got to vacuum up some hummus. Roswell Kid frontman Jordan Hudkins described the song Hummus Vacuum as a fairly literal song based on a true story, centering on the juxtaposition of eating one's feelings and various other concepts like regret and hope. The lyrics include the line, guzzle it down by the pound, can't get enough, I'm a hummus vacuum.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, though. The band Hummus Vacuum later formed and named themselves. Oh, after this specific song, and a social media post by the band mentions the name was created by accident. That's what I got. I don't know if any of this is true because Google AI is scraping it from God
who's
knows
opening
where.
them for? We got pita squares and tahini paste. Like, what are we doing?
Tahini Paste would be a good band. Anyway, congratulations to me. Thanks to you, Eric.
I'm a sucker. I stink at
Thanks.
this.
Thanks to Mark Townsend from Finding Amelia for coming on tonight.
Yeah.
Look for them at Pyramid Scheme this Friday, January 9th. Check them out. Thanks to Logan for producing. Thanks to all y'all for listening to us talk again. Welcome to 2026. Got some good guests coming up.
Guess we do.
You don't even know who they are.
I sure do as soon as you tell me.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you here in case they all fall through. But I'm pretty excited about the next 2 weeks, no lie. One of my resolutions this year, as you know, Eric, was that we're actually going to do a podcast every week instead of skipping every once in a while, and that we're going to have guests more regularly. So far we're 1 for 1. But yeah, thanks again. Like, subscribe, go eat a burger, see a new site, stop at a distillery, go to see a live show. I'll see you at the L Club for Antarctico Vespucci later this month. And that's all. You got anything else, Eric?
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Good night.